I would say the spirit of the Biennale is adventure, discovery, journey, the sense that you're walking towards something all the time. It's really very, very exciting. I think there are probably a couple things that Canadian artists should, I hope, take away from the experience. One is interaction with audience. I mean, there are just going to be so many people coming, and the artists are here for a while, and there is an engagement, and I think that in interacting with an audience, you learn something new about yourself and about how your work's perceived, and I think that's very valuable. And you know, this is a very, very intense experience for them, and I think it's very positive.
We share this place with many other artists from across the world, and they get involved with the dialogue also, and they start to understand where we're coming from, and they start to share those sympathies and stories, and I think it's just, you know, a wealth of opportunity here as an artist to basically connect with what's going on in the world.
On n'a pas à jalouser la production d'ailleurs, parce que on sait que les artistes contemporains canadiens produisent un travail d'aussi grande envergure et d'aussi importante esthétique que le reste du monde.
This year there are two pretty extraordinary things that are coming together. One is a large number of Canadian artists, I think the largest ever, and of course one of the co-artistic directors is a Canadian, Gerald McMaster. So there's a real sense, I think, of pride and of broad representation. It feels pretty Canadian to me.
There's so many artists, as you can well imagine, hundreds and thousands of artists, and how do you develop a cohesive kind of group from that? And I think for us, what was important is that it began with conversation and a kind of collaborative discussions about where this trajectory is going to take us. And so the notions of relations started to develop, the notions of connectivity, the notions of empathy, and I think that's the beauty of an exhibition that allows that opportunity. Whether it's the title of the exhibition or whether it's the process behind the exhibition, it allows kind of a freer opportunities to interpret, so that people make their connections. They say, oh, now I get it. This is how I see it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that's the beauty of a project such as this.
I think the Biennale, in its structure, is accessible. I think that people, because it's free, there's a free ferry, the staff is extraordinarily well trained, you feel welcomed, you get directed and all the rest. I think in that level it's quite accessible. I would say that some of the art is inviting, welcoming, because there's a whole sort of participatory part to it, and other works of art are maybe a little more opaque. So not everything's welcoming, but I think that's part of the magic, is that there is a challenge the way we think about the world, and that's what art should do for us.
You know, it goes without saying, I think for us it's the connecting with the audiences and presenting work that make that even more obvious through interactivity, through touch, through some kind of experiential moments, okay? The response is yes, and the press have been wonderful. The public has been wonderful, responding in a wonderful way. And I think for us it is that notion of how the works relate and they connect. And through the connecting, how visitors will carry away with them some particular meaning, establish a meaning, maybe take home an experience, and the experience then gets turned into a story, you know, or a memory of something like that, so that there's a kind of you set up these relational memories that where people sort of start connecting with one another. And I think that's the interesting thing about the Biennale this year. And so we saw many young children and youth with their families going on the weekend, for example, and that'll continue on. And I think that's quite exciting for us, anyhow.
One of the great things that come out of a Biennale like this is that Canada furthers its sort of step into the international dialogue. And as I say, with Gerald McMaster as one of the artistic directors, he's certainly pushing that. His ambition has been terrific, and we should be in the conversation, and this is a great opportunity to do that.
It really looks really good for Canadians, and I think Canadian artists in general, I think, have really contributed to this Biennale, and certainly as a Canadian curator, we had Canadian authors as well, and I think we're just very excited and very proud, and I just feel good about this Biennale.